Hello, hello, hello. OMG. Welcome back to my channel. So excited you're here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate you. It's Jody Dunn coming at you with a new weekly video in a different location. If you're new and you just found me, so happy that you are here. Would you please say hello to me and let me know you are new right down in the comment section? I would love to welcome you and say hello to you. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back to another video. I appreciate you. Leave me a hello in the comments so I can say hi to you. So we are back over at my mom's house and I am going to tackle her laundry room today, which is a mess. It's got a lot of stuff in it and I want to make it look better by decluttering it, cleaning it, and organizing it so she can see the items that she actually has in here. It's been about a month, maybe a little bit longer, and I decluttered her linen closet. Oh boy, was that an awesome transformation. I'll leave that video linked in the description box if you did not see that. So I don't want to go into too big of a, spiel or explanation since I already have, but I know I'll get new viewers that maybe are a little confused. So I am doing this not only to help my mom, but also to help my future self. So I'm just helping her with kind of going through her house, room by room. We're going to start working drawer by drawer, just like I did with my house. As I explained in the linen closet declutter, my grandparents grew up in the Depression era, and specifically my grandmother went without a lot. There was times where there wasn't enough food for all of them. And when you grow up like that, it's just inevitable that you are going to develop a very lack mindset. That's something I would imagine very scary to go through, especially as a child. And it just almost is inevitable that is going to get passed down to your children and possibly your grandchildren and potentially for generations to come. It definitely got passed down to my grandmother's children, my mother and her siblings, and I was very close to my grandmother, so it definitely got passed down to me as well. And what I mean got passed down is the mentality of we got to hold on to everything just in case. Again, inevitable and completely understandable. Now, my mom is Generation Boomer, so I'm definitely just making a broad generalization that probably a lot of Generation Boomer is similar to this if they had parents that were from the Depression era. I'm cleaning. I wanted to get that shelf all cleaned off and get the stuff off the floor here so that I could get this area cleaned up. It was pretty dusty just from stuff being there and my mom couldn't get to it. So first thing we're doing, we got everything cleared out that was on the shelf and on the surrounding floor, and I'm going to clean it. So I say I'm making a generalization. There's always exceptions to every rule. And when you're making a generalization, it doesn't include everybody. But when I did the linen closet declutter, I had an overwhelming number of comments saying, yep, my parents are the same way. They're Generation Boomer, or even comments from Generation Boomer. Yep, I grew up with Depression era parents and we hold on to everything. So, but I had, I think like one comment that I think was really mad at me that was like, I'm Generation Boomer and no, we are not all like that. That's great. Obviously, like I said, there are exceptions to every rule. So I'm here to help my mom declutter the house, and I really wanted to tackle the laundry room. It's funny because when you go through and you declutter your house, I lived with clutter for so many years, that it just seemed normal to me. And now that I've decluttered my house, don't get me wrong, I still need to regularly declutter. It's just a lot easier now. I told my mom last time, and we kind of laughed about it. I'm like, your laundry room gives me anxiety. And she's like, yeah, it's pretty bad. So I was like, okay, I got to tackle this laundry room. So once I went through and decluttered my house, if you like decluttering videos, my decluttering playlist is always down in the description box. I mean, I had rooms that I couldn't even use because there was so much clutter in them. And once you go through and declutter and you realize it doesn't have to be that way, it makes you look at things a little bit different then. So, like I said, I was like, man, this laundry room needs some work. And you know what? I'm willing to help. So let's get this done. Let's get this looking better. Now, she has just an absolute tremendous amount of laundry detergent and cleaning supplies that are in here. There was also some other things in here that really didn't belong in here. So we'll definitely take care of those things. But I think for the most part, my grandmother always used to call this the utility room. I love using the utility room. So the utility room, usually, I think a lot of people probably keep extra cleaning supplies, garbage bags, things like that. My mom has a really nice size laundry room or utility room. Mine is very narrow and I don't have a lot of room in mine. So I personally don't keep extra cleaning supplies in mine, but it makes sense that this is where she has things. So she has this shelf, which is great, that can hold a lot of things. I turned it. It was like right under the window, but I turned it over here. I think I like it better here. And actually she liked it better this way too, which was great. My grandmother always used to teach her kids, if you find a good deal, because again, she grew up without a lot of money. Even when she was married, her and my grandfather didn't have a lot until much later in life. But she always used to teach her kids, if you find a good deal, you stock up when it's a good price. And if there's a product that you really like, don't buy one, at least buy two, because they might stop making it. And I can definitely see that in this laundry room. My mom is one person. She's just one person. And she has enough laundry detergent and cleaning supplies in here to last. Probably she wouldn't have to buy anything for like 3 years. And if you're new here, you wouldn't know this, but I'm an extreme couponer. So I get laundry detergent, cleaning supplies, all of those things for a really, really cheap price, sometimes even free. I have a stockpile through couponing. I wish she wouldn't buy any of this because I have it in my house and I have offered it to her several times, but I think she feels bad. Mom, don't feel bad. Get the products from me. So I'm going to set all of her extra laundry detergent on the floor. I know that drives people crazy, some people crazy when you use the floor. It does not bother me at all. I think the floor is just fine. But in this circumstance, I do not have the luxury of not using the floor right now because there's too much product. So I'm definitely putting her extra laundry detergent on the floor right now. And then on this top shelf is going to be products that she's using. She's got like 5 different laundry detergents that are all half empty. She picks a different one every time, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, I wanted all of those things to be on the top shelf. And I showed her, like, Mom, these are ones that you've already opened and started using. So go through these first before you open a new one. So basically, all of these products that are sitting on top of her dryer right now are all opened and being used, but are not gone. So I'm just moving them to the top shelf over here so that we can get that dryer just cleared off of products, because I'd rather not have any products on the dryer. I think we can do it. At first, when I got in this room, I was like, oh, we're never going to be able to fit all of this stuff. But it does depend on how you organize things and where you put things. Like I said, I don't have the luxury of not using the floor as storage right now, so I'm going to use the floor as storage. And I can remember when I first started decluttering, I would always get a lot of comments suggesting that something that I just decluttered, let's say, for instance, My hall closet was one that I first did because we hadn't been able to use it in like 2 years because it was just jam-packed full of junk. Anyways, when I decluttered it, I had board games in there. And I had a lot of, comments suggesting that I should take the board games out of my hallway closet and move them into the living room, which I eventually did do. But I couldn't at that point because I hadn't decluttered in my living room yet. It's almost like putting a puzzle together. You have to get one piece of it done before you can complete the whole thing. So even though it made more sense to have the board games in the family room where the family hangs out than in my hall closet, I had no room in my family room to move anything because I hadn't decluttered in there. So I had to declutter that area before I could move things around. And my mom and I got just a great laugh out of this because when I came back the next day and she was home, I said, I don't know what in the My Big Fat Greek Wedding is happening in this house, Mom, but how much Windex does one person need? And she just started dying laughing. There was so much Windex down here. I was like, why does she have so much glass cleaner? Here's another bottle. And the funny thing is, so I found this big refill and I'm just filling up the extra bottles so I can get rid of this big refill bottle because it's taking up a lot of room. I go upstairs to throw it in the recycling. There's 2 more dang bottles of Windex upstairs. I'm like, Mom, how often are you cleaning the windows that you need this much Windex? She got a good deal on it, so she stocked up. And hopefully you got that reference if you've seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Such a great movie. And the Greek family, the dad, I don't know, he uses Windex for everything. She's like, I got a pimple. And he's like, put some Windex on it. So I was just dying. And look at this over here. Bags from more products. I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, Mom, please don't buy any more laundry detergent, any more cleaning supplies. I promise you don't need it. Plus, I would rather her just take it from me. That's why I coupon. I have way more than I need. I like to give to my family and my friends so that they don't have to spend their money on products like that when I can get it so dang cheap. All right, so I got the whole dryer cleared off, so there's no more products on the dryer. That makes me so happy. And now I'm just I have a bucket of water. You already saw me. The floor needed on the hands and knees clean, so that's what I did. And she's got these green microfiber cloths, so that's what I used. I found a cleaner in the laundry room to use to clean it, and so I wiped off the dryer. These are actually really nice microfiber cloths. They're very thick and quite large. She has other rags that she says she prefers for cleaning, but I cleaned with one of these and I liked it. I thought it worked pretty darn good. So I'm just stacking all of her microfiber cloths. She's got this little shelf right above on the wall that was just kind of filled with cleaning supplies, but I had to put a couple more of them up there, and then we're just going to put all of her cleaning towels up here as well. I would love to hear what's happening in your world this week. Are you working on any fun projects? And I found a bag that was in a laundry basket that had more. She must have got these recently, maybe. I'm not sure, but I'm going to stack the rest of those up there. Anyways, I would love to hear what you are working on this week. What's going on in your life? Let me know if you're working in your garden. Let me know if you're working on any fun projects. I would love to cheer you on. She's got some big buckets down here that I'm also going to use the Flora storage for. It's like cleaning vinegar, ammonia, and bleach. So those are big. They're staying right there on the floor. I feel like I am just cruising right along with this declutter. You know, sometimes when you look at a space or a drawer or an area or a room, you think it's going to take a lot longer than it's actually going to take. I really wasn't sure if I'd be able to get this done in like 2 days. Now, on this particular day, I only had 2 hours to spend here. I did spend the full 2 hours, but I got a majority of it done in that time. So I know when you're decluttering, I know it is overwhelming, but you usually can get through it quicker than you think you can get through it. That has been my experience. And I also just take the chunks of time when I have the chunks of time. I never overwhelm myself to complete an entire project in one day because that will overwhelm me. So I'd rather take 30 minutes, an hour, whatever I have, and just do small bits and then come back to it the next time I have 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. I did find a bucket of nail polish remover here. My mom used to be a nail tech. So I'm actually going to take that upstairs into the linen closet where she has all of her nail supplies. This bucket right here that I'm wiping down is the nail polish remover. So we'll take this right up to the linen closet with her other nail supplies. It's been like a month since I did her closet. She's not home. Let's check on how the closet's looking. Oh, it still looks pretty darn good. Good job, Mom. Look at that. It still looks really good. Good job, Mom. All right, let's get back to the laundry room. She has done an absolutely excellent job of keeping that linen closet looking great. When you can get rid of things that you're not using and organize it in a way that maybe makes sense to you, because we all operate differently, it makes it easier, of course, to keep everything more organized so that you can see everything. So I'm so proud of her. If I remember right, I think from the linen closet, I had 3 bags of garbage. There was 3 bags of like old towels and things that I took to the Humane Society, which they were so happy to have because they always need supplies like that. And then there was 2 or 3 bags of just donation items. So we got rid of so much stuff from that linen closet. As I was pulling down stuff from these shelves up here, I already knew this, but it just reminded me. One of the reasons, too, why there's so much stuff in here and some things that don't belong is, if you're a new viewer, you wouldn't know this, but if you're one of my regular viewers, I've talked about this before, but my stepfather, who's been gone for, almost 3 years now, he owned a fine dining restaurant with his brother, and his parents owned it before them. And when they closed the restaurant, both him and his brother took a lot of things from the restaurant and brought him home. So my mom has like large quantities of things that you might have at a restaurant in the house because of the restaurant closing. It was such a sad, that restaurant was just absolutely an amazing restaurant. It just, unfortunately, the area that it was in ended up getting not very safe. There was a lot of crime in the area. There was a GM plant that had closed down several years ago that they used to get a lot of business from. So anyways, they did finally end up closing it, and it was a sad day. So there's the bucket that I used for cleaning. You could see how dirty the water was, so it needed a good cleaning, and I am so happy I was able to do it. So my time is up for day 1, so I'm going to be heading out. All right, we're making progress, but I have to leave because I got to get Donna to a volleyball thing. So this is the stuff I did not put back that I got to figure out where I want to put. This stuff doesn't belong in there, so I have to wait and ask my mom what she wants to do with this stuff. Plus, there was like 2 little vacuum cleaners in there. And then this was stuff that, I found on the shelves that's dusty and stuff that needs to be washed. And then these were old. They are old rags. I would really just like to get rid of them. But again, I need to get her permission. She might want to keep some of them. So I still got a teeny little bit of a mess in the downstairs hallway. But already we're looking better than we were before, for sure. At least we got some of it cleaned. That thing's all organized. It looks so much better. We got a little bit done up there. So I will be back tomorrow to hopefully finish up. Oh, I got to get rid of that Let me just run this out right now before I go, since we condensed that. So day 1 in the books. Let's hope it doesn't take any more than 2 days. At first, I thought it was going to take about 4 days, but now I'm thinking I might be able to get this done tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, I am back for day 2. She was home, so we went through the things that I had left out that I hadn't taken care of. She let me get rid of all of those rags that I said I wanted to get rid of, and I did not donate them. I threw them out because every single one of them had a massive amount of holes, or the fabric was just so worn out from so many years of use. So she said, that's fine. You can go ahead and get rid of them. So I did get rid of them. And then as I was pulling stuff down, she would tell me like, I don't even know what that is. You can get rid of it. That's from the restaurant. Or, telling me what to keep and what not to keep. So that was very helpful. So we could just make the decisions right then and get rid of the things we needed to get rid of. And some things that I had saved yesterday, she's like, go ahead and donate that because I don't use it. This big tub that I just pulled down was all full of shoe wax and different supplies to wax your shoes because, of course, owning the fine dining restaurant, he always wore a suit unless he was back cooking because maybe they were short and needed help. He was a great chef. And my mom is an absolutely amazing cook. So he shined his shoes a lot. All of that shoe wax it's so old that it was all dried up. And so we just ended up tossing all of that as well. And there was a few things up on the shelf, like some screwdrivers and just different like little tools. And at first she was like, well, I can put them out in the garage with the rest of the tools. And then we decided, you know what, I'm just going to clean this bucket out and we'll use this bucket for little miscellaneous things because she might want to have some tools handy in this room. I know I have an area for tools, and then I also have a little space in my kitchen where I have some tools that maybe I use kind of regularly so I don't have to go all the way down to the basement. So that's what I ended up using this bucket for, was just some like little miscellaneous things that she might need so she doesn't have to go out looking through a big toolbox to find something. And up in that bucket was a mop replacement, and she asked me if I could replace her mop head because she couldn't figure it out. So I got it's like a Lieberman, is that what it's called? Anyways, so we're going to just throw this mop head away because it's old, and I got the new one here. I do not have a mop like this. I got to figure out. It was easy once I learned how to replace the mop head, but I was looking for instructions on the package. I kept looking through the dang thing, trying to figure out how the heck do you get this mop head off. I could see there was a clip inside there, but I just couldn't figure it out. So thank heavens for YouTube. I had to stop recording, grab my phone, pull up a video, and it was a really nice, quick, easy to the point video that showed me exactly how to take the mop head off. It really is very easy, but when you've never done something before, there's always a learning curve. And I kept like looking for somewhere where I could just pull it off. So I'm going to stop the video, watch the video on YouTube to figure it out. So I got it off super duper easy. And then I went to put the new mop head on and had to stop recording again because I couldn't figure out how to get the clip back in to hold the new mop head into place, which again was very easy, but I didn't watch the whole video through. And so then I was struggling again with how to get it on. Who knew that a dang mop would confuse me so much? But here we are. And I got very confused by this dang mop. I have an O-Cedar mop. It's super duper easy. The mop head literally pops on and off. And I was getting frustrated because I was spending so much time. But anyways, I finally got it. So I have a whole bag of garbage that I'm going to take out for her. And other than the empty box that just needs to go to recycling, all of this stuff is going to be donated. So we got rid of probably another bag full of stuff. All right, so I'm actually back on the third day, only because I didn't have the supplies I wanted with me. So the last thing I wanted to do was clean out this dingy looking utility sink. And I wanted to use Barkeeper's Friend because that's just what I like to use. So that'll be the last thing we're going to do here. So let's get this cleaned and looking hopefully close to brand new. All right, so I am back again to clean this sink out and then pack up the donations and get them out of the house. And then I'm going to be finished with this laundry room. So I'm going to use Barkeeper's Friend. That's just the cleaner I like. I'm sure the pink stuff would have also worked really good. But I actually had a bottle of Barkeeper's Friend at home that was close to being done. And I figured I might use it up with this sink. And I did. I used all the rest of it. So that gets, now I can open up a new bottle. It's always exciting when you open up a new bottle of your favorite cleaning product. I don't use Barkeeper's Friend all that often, only when it's something that really needs a good scrub, because it does such a fantastic job of really pulling up stains. Now, this utility sink is, I don't have any idea how old, probably at least 20 years old. So, I said I was hoping I could get it looking close to new. It definitely does not look new. There were some spots. This is like a heavy-duty plastic material, is my guess based on the feel of it. But there were some spots on the bottom where it looks like maybe the finish or the paint has chipped away. You're never going to get that out. It's just going to look like a spot there. But the Barkeeper's Friend did a pretty darn good job. She had a couple of toothbrushes sitting up here. Mom, sorry, I don't know what you use these for, but I'm using it to clean in the cracks and crevices, and then I'm throwing them away. If you need toothbrushes, Mom, I got lots. I would love to hear if you have ever helped a family member or a friend declutter, because what I'm experiencing with helping my mom declutter is it's such a different feeling decluttering her space and her belongings versus mine, which makes, total sense. We all have feelings about our things where maybe I can see where I think she should get rid of something, and maybe she's a little resistant to get rid of, which she actually hasn't been. She's been really great about, if I say, do you really need this? And she's like, no. Or she's even said to me a couple of times, you know what, I'm never going to use that, get rid of it, which is so awesome. But I found when I decluttered my home, and still when I'm decluttering my home, it's so much more emotionally tolling to declutter your own things, because we have emotions around our things. And this has been a different and fun experience for me to be decluttering in her house. And that emotional feeling that I feel when I'm decluttering my house, it gets less and less every time I do it. Decluttering is a muscle that gets stronger and stronger for sure. But even still, there are things where I'm like, oh, do I really want to get rid of that? Where in my mom's house, I'm like, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. So I'm very happy that she's been very willing to let a lot of things go. All right, so I put Barkeeper's Friend on 4 times. And yes, you can let it set and do a paste. I was not patient enough to do that. I did get it wet, so it kind of was pasty. But this is what it looked like before. And again, it doesn't look brand new, but it sure looks a heck of a lot better. It looks clean now. I got all of the stains up that I could get up. The rest is just, like I said, worn away finish. The faucet looks great, so happy I did this. She was actually at lunch with a friend when I came over to finish this, so I'm going to start bagging up the donations, and it looks like she has set something. I don't know where she found this little clock here. I'm guessing she wants it donated because she put it with all of the things that we decided we were going to get rid of. So that's awesome. Again, don't know where she found it, but she said, heck, I don't need this. Let me set this aside and I'll have Jody take this to donation. However, if you know me, I'm just a little tad bit obsessed with older, pretty clocks. So here I am looking at this thinking, I think I have a spot for this. First of all, I love gold. Second of all, it's got like little balls that spin around at the bottom. It's so dang cute. I'm going to keep it. You can actually hear my grandfather clock going on right now as I edit this. I love that thing. So anyways, this is where we started. I was so happy to get in here and give this room some organization, declutter it, clean it, and just make it a space for my mom that felt a little bit more peaceful. And now, oh my goodness, such a huge difference. Yes, she has too many laundry supplies and too many cleaning products, but she'll eventually go through them. We can see everything now. There's not products all over the dryer. The floor is clear other than the laundry baskets. She does have that box next to her dryer, which I asked her what that was, and it's a thing you can put inside your dryer that you can set things on so they don't move, like if you want to dry a pair of tennis shoes or something. So I just kept that there. But oh my gosh, it looks so much better, and the sink is nice and clean. So this will definitely be a series where we're coming in room by room, drawer by drawer, area by area, and getting things just looking better for my mom. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.